Hello. Alright, so today we're going to hopefully not have you guys too interrupted with background noises. Tonight, not tonight, this afternoon is an interesting scenario. As you can see, I've already been working on blotting in some of the background for Wonderland here. And I'm just digging for my pencil because I got started on watercolor washes instead of getting into our little floral trio, because I had them placed and I started penciling in details. What was that, yesterday or the day before? But anyways, as a I wanted to go ahead and get some significant progress done. So hopefully you'll enjoy getting to see what's going on in Wonderland here. Let's go ahead and get everything centered in frame. My phone stand could go back a little bit. Ooh. My tape decided to start popping off the board. So that's why that was shaped a little weird. And since that's already zoomed out as far as it can be, I'm going to go ahead and drop my top frame for a moment. This is where I normally have all my active messages, as well as the frame at the top and bottom. So that way you can see everything as it fits. My background wash is blotchy as hell. And that's because I didn't have an idea when I first started laying it down how I was going to approach outlining the figures. So entirely my fault. The technique that I wound up coming over to, which is adding water around the edge, so that way the edges would be softened. And I think that might be, this track might be competing with me a little much. So I'm going to turn that down just a touch. Hopefully you can still hear me over it clearly. But yeah, so not having an idea when I start laying in my wash is a terrible idea. But yeah, I've gone back and I've tried to soften some of these edges. I'll go back in with my scrubber later and blot some areas where I have harder lines, like across right by her face and a couple other spots. So it'll be a lot of give and take, trying to smooth out the wash a little bit more to where I'm happy with it. And even so, I'm not too worried about it because I do plan on coming back and detailing areas. So some of that patchiness will just go away and look more like it's natural because there'll be touches of grass here and there that'll go ahead and help draw your eye. So, work in progress. Yeah, so I'm going to turn this into more of like a dirt path here, and then have this just be the edge of the woods where the grass is right there by the signpost and the roots. I've done a little bit of dirt path back here by the Tweedles. I didn't have it go all the way back in because I wasn't focusing on trying to finish this area yet. I just wanted to go ahead and lay in at least some of the green from the croquet court. I might go back in and do maybe a yellow glaze over here too, just on this part. I want the croquet court to be a kind of a brighter green. So maybe even like rich green gold, or really thin down Hansa yellow medium. I want it to really pop over here, and then to go get darker as we get back up here. Which, here's the sap green with the carbazole violet, so you can kind of see what they look like glazed together. And I'm going to bring my frames back up, so that's a little distracting for me having them down. I'm definitely going to do change out the interface for when we go into Mermaid. It'll be something a little bit more, it'll still be on brand for me, but it'll be something a little bit more oceany. As far as what's going on today, we'll be working on our flowers, and I might actually start off with a little bit of lifting, because this red and blue blotch right here is a little heavier than I noticed initially when I laid those splashes. And because they are a character, I don't want that to be too strong. So we'll go in and we'll scrub a little bit of that up. It's the first time in probably a week that I've gone ahead and changed my water because it was starting to look a little funky. And I don't mind it collecting a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna start off with this being pretty wet. Just go in here. I'm not too worried about the stems being wet while I'm drawing the faces in, which is exactly why I'm doing this first. So that way it'll have some time to dry while I'm doing the faces. And I apologize again, I'm kind of I don't know, a little like over the top right now. Between trying to get this finished. You know, I am actually scrubbing this a little harder than I generally have been as far as softening edges. It's because I want most of that particular spot to go ahead and lift. The one that's closer to the hatter, no problem. But this one over by my flowers, I want as much of that gone as I can possibly do. I really love how some of the red and the purple spider web though with the spray bottle. I think if I had done another round with the spray bottle, the blue and the rich green gold would have spiderwebbed a little bit more too. Rich green gold I mixed a little bit too strong. I'm noticing that as I'm glazing over, that I'm actually lifting some of that pigment and getting that smearing around a little bit. So, just a cautionary tale for you guys to just be careful how heavy you go with your mix if you're going to do some splatter. I had that happen with a portrait piece. I was doing an abstract background, and I went a little bit too heavy with the Carbazole Violet, which wound up being a cool effect ultimately, but it was just not what I had expected. And it's a good thing for you to just be cognizant of if you want your pigment to be strong, but you also don't want it to be ridiculous. Wound up being really neat. I grabbed my flat brush and brushed over it, and it reactivated that pigment, and it made the background even more chaotic. So that was, it worked out for that, but it won't work out for everything. I think that might be as far as I can go without damaging the paper. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I might try another round. I'm looking at these mushrooms and I'm seeing that same problem I identified yesterday, which was, let's see, like almost none of these spots. Oh, on this one they are. On this one there's one that goes over the edge. I don't like that. It's bothering me. It's like, really? There's no other spots where it goes over the edge? Like anywhere? Anyone? So I'm just going to plop in an extra one over here, because that's making me crazy. I'm going to make this one a little bit longer so it goes over the edge. I think I'm going to throw in one over here. And maybe one way down here. Go ahead and vary that a little bit more. Alright. So that's enough little tap tap tap. But that was just driving me nuts, like, that this was a little too static, nothing going over the edges. Anyways, back to our flowers. So they're already drying anyway, and me leaning on it's going to help anyway. So that's fine. And we'll do a quick check on Twitch to say hi, see what's up. Welcome to the stream. Alright, and there we go. And I can't believe tomorrow is the last day of this month. Just craziness. Ooh, we have a Friday the 13th next month too. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, hey, we have Rowdy Robbie in the chat room. Hello. Alright, and I'll go ahead and carry on with our flowers here. Yeah, this will probably not just be about the flowers though, because, like I said, all of this background needs to be done between today and tomorrow. Most of the time that I have work on this is either right before the stream or during the stream, so this is gonna be fun. I'm just going to slightly sharpen up my little bit of lines for that flower stem, if it'll take them. We have the base of this flower. So I'm trying to put the face in first because I'm going to make the petals bend around. I don't want them in the way of us being able to see this little face. Oh, and I think I can actually zoom a little more. Oh, that is it. Alright, so what I will do, I will bring the camera slightly down, and I will bring the piece slightly up and over. So you're more likely to see the flowers instead of just my hand over the whole thing. My flowers, instead of going with the wow, train of thought. Instead of going with the roses and the tiger lilies that were in the original version, I've gone more with, I guess these would look like daisies. I'm kind of curling around the petals here, so like these ones are really bowed and facing towards us. And actually I'm gonna tip this one up a little bit too, like the petals on this whole side are just kind of leaning towards us. You can see more of that face. And this is why I made those guidelines. So I have an idea as far as how far the petals should come out, generally what direction they're facing, things like that. These details are pretty hard to pick out, so you're probably not going to see a lot of what I did until I'm actually laying down color, so you have that contrast. Because right now with the pencil work, I'm just laying down guidelines for me to be able to see what I'm doing. I do wish I had blotted this up a little bit more too. I might have been able to lift a little more. But that was the point of these splashes, was to add some randomness, and it has certainly done that for me. Sorry about that. I leaned too close to my desk, and my inline control for the microphone and the mute button just unplugged from my headset. So, fun stuff. And that's the joys of stuff being live. Yep, May the 4th, Cinco de Mayo, and Friday the 13th for Memorial Day. Also, for me, there's a couple other important dates. So we have May 3rd was the anniversary date for my enlistment, and my son's birthday. So, yeah, May is an insane month. I'm just adjusting my mic just a touch. Hopefully it's a good spot for you to hear my ramblings. I really like some of these areas. Like, how great is that going to look? If I'd done that with like the quinacridone burnt orange and then painted some sap green over the top, it would be perfect for moss. Oh yeah, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is the 8th. So, special day this year. Alright, and we're just gonna do a face over here. This will probably wind up being a little bit creepy because I'm going with kind of like a human face, very oval. I probably don't need as much of a forehead as people have. I don't know. We'll do a little nose. I'm just kind of tapping where a nose should be. I think I'm gonna bend this down just a little further so I can have, like, her mouth is open. I did really subtle details. Oh yeah, your birthday coming up too. Awesome. And so as far as details on the center flower, she's sitting here with, looks just like her eyebrows, not so much a whole eye. That's one of those odd little risks because freehanding eyes is not always easy. That did not twist quite like I wanted it. Try not to have all of the petals just out. I want, like, I have this one, it's kind of like a random twist to it. Yeah, it's funny, I was just thinking this particular track actually sounds like it was on Tim Burton's Wonderland, but I know it wasn't. None of this stuff is by Tim Burton. I'm sorry, Danny Elfman. I'll have to go ahead and send you the prompts for Mermaid, the sheet that I wrote out. It shows all 3 of the prompt lists I found side by side. There's gonna be some really interesting ones on there. So, just what are your thoughts on the prompts? Like, do you feel like for mermaid everything has to be a mermaid, or other ocean creatures are okay? Sorry about that. My little one's a little loud right now. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to grab just a touch of the quinacridone burnt orange, very watered down. I'm gonna go with oh, actually now I'm rethinking it. Okay, well, since I already have the pigment, I'm going to do the Hatter's face. And pull off just a little bit of that moisture, because this mix is a little wet. Okay, so that's moving, but I was thinking, like, do I really want, like, fleshy colored faces in my flowers? I think I'm gonna go with kind of like a yellowy green, maybe do the rich green gold. No, I think I actually want to go a little more yellow. Yeah, I probably could have done the quinacridone burnt orange for shadows. Go ahead and give it kind of a golden yellow tone. But no, I'm gonna start with the Hansa yellow medium. And I want this pretty thin, because I've noticed that it is a little bit more opaque than I prefer for yellow. I've gotten so used to using quinacridone gold for almost everything, but I wanted to have at least a mid-yellow for things that should be more yellow, like a bright sunny color. I think I want to try some Azo yellow. Whoa, what am I doing? I'm not working on him. Ooh, I forgot to pat out some of my graphite. Bad me. What am I doing? So I'm just giving the eraser a quick clean, because again, I'm not wearing jeans. I haven't been wearing jeans in the house in so long. I haven't found a pair that's really comfortable for me to wear anymore. Like, I either have to wear them with a belt, because they're older ones that have not worn down as quite in the way that I prefer. What else? Oh, and then I have other ones that are too tight. Just like the whole fit is really snug, and I don't know, I think my opinion has changed on that a little bit. Like, I prefer to have tights that are relaxed. I mean, I was wearing them while I was pregnant, so they were a bit big. Awesome deal. I got like 5 pairs of Halloween tights from a Halloween clearance while I was still pregnant with my son. It was like, that's what I bum around the house in for the most part. But I do miss having some pants with pockets. I just need to find a cut that's comfortable anymore. My skin condition's gotten a little worse on my shins, so I don't like stuff to be too snug there, which sucks because, you know, my favorite jeans were quite tailored to the whole leg. So it just goes to show you, as time progresses, things change. Alright, so our graphite's knocked down. decently. This part's actually like barely moving. Hopefully that's enough. Go ahead and just hop in here with the brush. Those little skewings away. Alright, and I think I'm going to start with the centers because then I can jump over to the stems. I'm just sitting weird in my chair, so apologies for moving around, trying to get comfy. And the music has stopped. That's okay. No, the music has stopped. Until I say something. What? That timing's awfully convenient. Alright, I'm going to try to reload the playlist. Do 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 do. Oh, I don't know what track goes on. We'll just go with that one. Because why not? Alright, so going back to our Hansa Yellow. I see this giant hair across my page. What the furrow? Big ol' water droplet. Alright. Nice sunny yellow. And I'll go back over with the quinacridone burnt orange. Go ahead and put all of those details in. I didn't quite blot this enough. Just gonna lift a little bit of that. Put a little bit. Tap that just a touch. Okay, that should be good. It's a decent base yellow. And then I'll go ahead and the faces with the orange. That look good. And then I'm debating what colors I want to do. I think this one I might actually go in with the Scarlet Pyrrole. Not to be confused with Pyrrole Scarlet in any other manufacturer's lineup. This is their basically Pyrrole Orange in any other manufacturer. I think it's PO73. And yeah, it's funny, so grab our little swatch and talk about that for a sec. Right, so this is the Scarlet Pyrrole in M gram, which, like I said, it's Pyrrole Orange. It's a gorgeously fiery orange, which is why I got it. And if you go ahead and mix that with white, you'll get Shell Pink, which this looks super orange and it makes you wonder how you're going to get a pink, but it is leaning enough towards red that you get a really wonderful glow, and it is great for certain skin tones when their cheeks are flushed. Like my son in particular. He's one of the first kids I've noticed who is very much so, like, when he's blushing a little bit after laughing, he has that really healthy orangish tone to the pink glow, and it's really cute. But as far as Pyrrole Scarlet, which you notice that the two words are in different order, so Pyrrole Scarlet in just about every other brand is this color. A lot of brands also use this for like a vermilion pigment. Hopefully you can pick up how different these two are. And this was just one I added on while I've been doing my whole red exploration. I just have a nice dot of it. But I was thinking about maintaining the colors that I would need for like a Zorn palette. And I would definitely go with the more red-orange for that. It's a Zorn's palette for portraits is a very limited palette. It's 4 colors. So you have black, white, vermilion, and I think it's yellow ochre. Right now I don't have an ochre on my palette, but I do have raw sienna as well as quinacridone gold, which either of those may work as a substitution. That's something I do want to experiment with in a bit, but not today. As I'm rambling and time is moving on. So let's get some stems in. What do I want to go with? No, sticking with their naturalistic tones. I think I'm going to mix a little bit of sap green with the rich green gold. Just to give this a little more variation compared to the sap green that we've been using just about everywhere else here. The sap green is such a great versatile color, but also don't want everything to look the same. I have a little bit of phthalo green blue shade nearby too. Yeah, probably let a little bit of that mix in. Just see where we get to. Looks similar to sap green, but not quite, which I am happy with. And put this one's leaves on, which were basically acting like arms. So just going to get the base of the flower petals. And same thing for this one over here. One arm going up this way. One arm going over that way. And then trying to angle the stem a little bit in the back. Go ahead and connect over here. And I think the other flower is kind of getting in the way. Which, since we're a little further back, English. Since we're a little bit further back from the edge of the desk, I'm just grabbing my readers to make sure I can see where the top of this end stopped, which that looks good. Alright, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to come back onto these leaves with probably either a light wash of just sap green, or maybe just come over them with a little bit of orange. I want those stems to be a bit darker to give me some contrast. English. I want the leaves to be darker than the stems to go ahead and give me some contrast there. And a bit of this one. This keeps telling me all about these dropped frames. No pockets for me? Yeah, I know. I do miss pants with pockets. In fact, like cargo pants tend to be my favorite because extra pockets. It's like I make up for not having pockets most of the time for going overboard on pockets later. Alright, so I've been working with the Silver Sterling Studio 6000S round in the size 1, because that's a decent enough size. I'm going to leave our leaves alone for now. We're gonna hop back onto the faces. And just grabbing a bit more of that quinacridone burnt orange. I probably should switch to the detail brush since we're going in so small now. So that'll be the spotter. It's a 18/0. And it is positively tiny compared to the size 1. So just to give you a quick size comparison. Oh, I have water on my ferrule because I already was wetting the brush. But just to give you an idea, the difference between a size 1 and a size 18/0. I might as well be painting with like a couple eyelashes. Boy, I'm enjoying sitting cross-legged, but it just does not work for trying to lean forward and paint. I'm getting chair creaking from me trying to adjust. Right. Already starting the line work. Itty details. Oh, what color eyes do you think a flower would have? Going over these features a couple times. I want to make sure that they stand out enough.
Eventually showed up like
Kind of varying the strength of the orange. Going really thin on this side of the face. Try to use that to give us a little bit more shadow. And you know what? I have that Pyral, Scarlet Pyral. I use that in the center of the eye. Very searing orange tone. I really can't foresee using a color that is too dim because of how small these guys are. When I give them something that's gonna pop. Go ahead and let that dry a little bit. The mouth for the center one should be somewhat dry. Going in with a teeny bit of neutral tint for these mouths. And blotted the brush a little bit because I want that to be a little bit thin. I don't want it to be too dark. I give those a glaze of quinacridone burnt orange afterwards, so I like the inside of the mouth is like a dark brown. Alright, so we'll go ahead and move over to our darker area. You know, I think I'm going to just glaze the bit of sap green and carbazole violet I still have on my palette right over that. So that'll still work to go ahead and give me some nice darker detail. I'll just do a subtle line of that back here, where the flower's head is. Just do some subtle shading. Right back there. Specifically choosing areas that aren't touching where the petals go, wherever possible, because that is the next area that I want to work on. Make this a little bit broad. Leaves. Alright. Those eyes are quite fiery looking. Those will tone down a touch when I add the pupils because that'll give you a better focus. I may go ahead and glaze over those irises with a little bit of quinacridone burnt orange, or maybe even lift some of that out. Because I have crazy ideas for like really intense colors somewhere, and then I realized no, that's not actually what I wanted. Kind of like this one pennant that was down here in the birthday party area. One of those banners. It's like, nope, I don't want that color after all. Alright, so let's see. What color do we want our petals? We can easily go with yellow. You know what, while I'm debating, I'm going to glaze a little bit more quinacridone gold. Excuse me. Hiccups. I'm going to glaze a little more quinacridone gold around this keyhole. I want that to be a little bit deeper. Meanwhile, my camera's telling me low battery, so awesome. So I will do this for a moment. Just doing a little bit of water along the edge, so this is going to blur out nicely for us. And I don't mind getting some of it on top of the this little dimensional bit keyhole. And up here, it's looking like that's quite shiny, and the whole bottom here is not. Alright, so while that sits for a moment, I'm just going to grab that quinacridone gold. I don't want this mixed too thickly, I want this to flow. I'm realizing this area kind of felt like it was a little bit too transparent. Like the color was just not deep enough for what I was looking for. I just figured go ahead and give that another quick glaze. That's kind of why I'm leaning against having any of these flowers being yellow. Just because of how many other bigger yellow objects are right by. I don't think that they'll stand out the way I want them to. And I think I like different colors of like zinnias and things like that. Tend to come in like reds and browns and oranges, and well, that sounds kind of nice for my taste, like a nice fall palette. I don't know how I feel about that being like right here in Wonderland. It's kind of like a central area. They're also a little bit further. Oh, they aren't that far back. I'm gonna grab some of that deep scarlet. We'll start there. Maybe go ahead and brighten that up by grabbing a little bit of the scarlet pearl. I might hate this. feel like I can't see what I'm painting today. I think that's kind of pretty. Back in. Did I miss my glaze? I don't think I did. Oh. Just double checking that's dry before I'm putting that down over here. We'll come back into our flowers. A little more detail. The battery is going to... Uh-oh. It might hold out. I'm just gonna keep going. We only have like 8 minutes left, and let's see, I laid down the deep scarlet with pearl orange. I kinda like that color. Let's do like a purpley blue for one. So a bit of the oxazine violet, and a bit of the Danthron blue. This particular petal was used for some other flowers recently. I think we'll do this one on the end with this. Right now this is a flat wash. I'll come back in, do a slightly deeper wash to go ahead and separate between the front and the back petals on the two side ones. Just so there's some variation there. For right now I just wanted to get a glaze down. And let's see. We have reddish orange, we have bluish purple. What goes in between those? Maybe green. I don't know. We have red orange. Oh, my swatches. Oops, a little bit darker. Alright. It's kind of like the last quick decision that I gotta make. Maybe like a cooler, like magenta-y pink, maybe? Maybe like that. Sitting on top of the paper towel, so it wants to just kind of wiggle. We'll go ahead and deepen that with a little more red. Yeah, I think so. Alright, we only have like 5 minutes left. So I think this was a puddle of purely maroon that I had sitting next to where I had some of the quinacridone lilac. Just kind of mixing them together. It's going a bit more on the red side now. I need to grab a little more of the Quinn Lilac. It's probably the best I can hope for. Oh, and I have a nice big hair on my brush that is now stuck to that paper. Fun. I don't feel like that's too close to the other one that we already painted. With my mixes, I am off camera too, so you're not seeing what I'm talking about. So this is what I started with. I was like, oh yeah, that's good, that kind of works, and oh, more pearly maroon. Oh, it's still too much pearly maroon. I'm like, trying to find that happy mix in the middle that'll work well with the other two. Maybe I should go a little more purple. This is probably some Quinn Lilac and some Dioxazine Violet. And we're just going for it. Because the stream's almost over and I don't want to spend all day mixing pigments. This is probably the most colors I have in one mix going. But I don't know, I'm just trying to get this done. As distractions. Great. So we have our talking flowers for the most part. And now I'm going to mute this because my gamer is getting louder. Right, so tomorrow's prompt is your choice. And my choice will be, I don't know what. Probably just background work. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed the painting process as it's going. And as always, keep painting.